Pretty much covered it all, but I'm just going to read my statement that I wrote. I don't have a lot of questions. It's just my personal opinion, and I'll just go on from there. My name is Holly Haight. I reside at 171 16th Street, which is at the corner of 16th and Broadway. My side yard runs approximately 230 feet along Broadway, and I will be significantly affected by this proposed West Point project, along with my neighbors and the entire hamlet of Verplank. Historic Verplank, might I point out. I also own an additional property in Verplank, which will be impacted as well. First of all, if a few of the lucky neighbors who were notified had not shared this information, we would all still be in the dark about this proposed project, and the company would continue to go through the process, getting approvals, possibly purchasing Con Ed's property and going forth without a care in the world with respect to the residents here in Verplank and the impacts of this project on this community. In reviewing the application to the PSC, and I'm still reviewing the pages and pages of documents that you've already submitted, it was obvious that you intentionally left out the residences in photos shown on your application. In addition, the company's rendering photo of the conversion building site was misleading at best. As I waded through the descriptions and alternate maps, one cannot notice that the proposed location for your southern converter station in all cases ends at the site in Verplank, which we've been through several times tonight. Just one question, and everybody's asked it, how come there were many other alternative sites for the transmission lines coming down from the northern converter station and no alternatives for the southern converter station site? I'm sure there are other properties in the area of 4 to 5 acres in size proximal to a nearby substation. The financial impact on this community will be devastating, with a very significant decline in our property values due to the significant environmental impacts that your project would have on residential properties. We would never be able to sell our homes at the previous market value. In reviewing online projects that you have done and other companies have done, I don't see any residents impacted as you plan to impact ours. This building will be a blight in our community, adding continual noise pollution, and regardless of what anybody says, the potential for additional health hazards. Your representations regarding noise impact, viewshed impacts, and impacts on property values are stretching at a minimum, and in the worst cases appear blatantly wrong. My residence sits on a hill at 16th and Broadway. I hear the kids clearly on the ball field during game time, clear as day, which is enjoyable noise. Your documentation shows that you took some initial decibel readings. Whose residence was this noise-sensitive receiver S1 placed? In the fall, winter, and spring, I see the field from my backyard. There are impacts to our infrastructure as well, and I'm sure somebody else speaking tonight will cover that. Finally, I am the chief of the Verplank Fire Department. Speaking now as the chief of the fire department, I, my fellow officers, firefighters, and my commissioners here this evening are concerned for the safety hazard this project can impose on a variety of levels. Why wasn't the fire district notified? I know others like to speak, but I would like to thank the supervisor and the town board for setting up this presentation, West Point Partners. I appreciate you coming. We are educated and hardworking people here in Verplank who will continue with due diligence to fight this and not have our properties and communities turned upside down. Thank you.
Most of the maps, but when I woke up this morning, I looked out my bedroom window and saw the beautiful tree across from the ball field, which in your